You guys are so quiet. Can you make some noise if you like the movie or what?
We talked about making this noise throughout. We don't need a mic, do we? We talked about making noise throughout, and what I want you to do right now, because this movie was most definitely awesome, I need you to please welcome some of the stars that are joining us here tonight to make this evening even more special. Please put your hands together for Ester Dean, Hana Mae Lee, and Chrissie Fit. We can play musical chairs. No big deal. Yes. Welcome, ladies. Let's give these girls a big warm welcome, please. Absolutely amazing, I'm sure. I don't know what's happening. Do we need these? Can you guys hear us? All right, excellent. So this movie was amazing. How did it feel to get back together with the entire cast?
Oh, it's always great to do that. That's fun. It's party time then.
Yeah. We've kind of become a family. It's like Esther kind of
What's going on with my girl?
all good.
What's going on?
Esther kind of like created this Bella for Life movement, and
No matter if they like it or not. Bella for life.
we're together. So it's always a good time, and especially in this last one, I think we all made like a conscious decision to have fun also. And I think you can see that on screen, or hope that you did.
Absolutely. Now, when you guys did the first movie, when you guys were working on Pitch Perfect, did you think it was going to be the international phenomenon that it is right now?
I knew from day one.
What?
Yeah,
how did it do? Because the thing is, I came later. I came like way later before, like I just kind of got thrown in there, so I didn't know. Like, because Brittany did audition for 2 years. Yeah, so there's so they knew it was gonna be big. I just took a gig. I was like, ooh.
You don't know, as Esther
No.
I'm sorry.
Esther is
I gush
nothing.
about my girls all the time. Esther is one of the best songwriters in the business. Fireworks to all of Rihanna's Rude Boy stuff.
wanted a gig.
Nicki Minaj. And she's like, I
I'm
want to
never
go to a movie
satisfied.
for fun.
And then it turned into a trilogy.
Yeah.
And it was amazing, and we're all hooked on it, right? Talk to me about when you guys we've watched and grown with these characters throughout the 3 movies. How did you guys relate to the difficulties that they are actually going through with your own lives? I mean, we all kind of go through that. You get out of one transition into another, and that process can be a little difficult. Did it help you to adapt to your own characters?
Well, me and Hana was talking the other day, like earlier, how she started in fashion, I started in music, and it is something that people always think that you're turning your back on something, but you're really just getting a new car, you're just getting a new vehicle to get to the new destination, and sometimes, like, no matter how nice the car is, it still becomes a bucket to you. And you're like, I want a new car, and I want to, I want a different navigation system. So to me, that's what the girls go through in the movie, and it's also what you go through in life. Just like, we are supposed to be out of college and still decide, but we want to still sing. So just because you're out of college don't mean you can't be in an a cappella group.
You have no goals when you're out of college.
Obviously, like what? You still have aspirations when you at any part of your life. So that's what we go through in the movie, and that's what we go through in life. So it's relatable.
Yeah, the first movie we're all like 19, 21, freshmen in college, where we're just figuring out what we want to do with our lives and meeting new people, to like graduating with like the Bellas, to knowing them more, knowing like our characters more, to like life after college, like how life is, and it's pretty fun to be able to play that on screen.
Now, the only director or producer that I know that shares the camera with his actors is Quentin Tarantino. How did it feel to work with Elizabeth Banks as Gail and as a producer? That's interesting.
You have facts.
Yeah.
I do have facts, girl.
I'm like, I didn't know that.
Yes.
It was amazing. I mean, she is so smart and funny and has a vision and is like so she's wonderful to work with, and like even seeing her in different like facets of it, like putting her producer hat on is like really inspiring, and then watching her just like improv and kill it with like John Michael Higgins, who's hilarious. Like there were times where I would stay on set even though I wasn't filming anything, just to watch them do their thing.
You try to sneak on set, you just be like, hey, I know it's not my call time, but can I come up there and watch y'all do it?
Yeah,
you know. One time I tried to come on Rebel and Anna, they had a bedroom scene, but it was like in a box, so it wasn't really a room. And I was like, I could just peep in there. I'm fine. You won't see me in the back.
And it's great that Elizabeth is an actress too. I think that really helps with everything. And she, you know, she's always like, oh wait, hair in your face, like,
yes.
you know, like she really
She's a
kind
girl.
of.
She on the second one, she allowed us to put like more makeup on. The first movie, it was like, since I was supposed to be Cynthia Rose that nobody knew was a girl boy. So then when I got there, they was like, oh no, Esther, you can't wear any makeup. And I'm like, what do you mean? I can't wear no makeup. And they was like, yeah, like, so as soon as I would put eyelash, like, mascara on, they like, oh, take it off. She looks too much like a girl. So then the second movie, I, like, put fake lashes on, so then they couldn't take it off, because he's like, how did that come off? And I was like, oh, they're extensions.
Yeah, you
I can't take those off. I'm sorry. And then the third one, I just started doing makeup in my trailer, and I come up, and they was like, Esther,
You know, usually they don't let you do that, but you got away with a lot.
I gotta look because they love me. I'm a girl. Don't do me like that. I'm trying to get a man, honey. How you gonna get a man with no mascara on?
You gotta.
Oh my God, you girls are way too much fun. This movie has so much more dancing, so much more going on, so much more singing too. I know there was a boot camp that you guys had to go to. What did it take to put these choreographies and these songs together before you even got in front of the camera?
We always have 3 months for all these films. The first month we do rehearsals and we do pre-recordings, and then we go back to do rehearsals because the songs changed and learn the whole dance again, and then do another pre-recordings, and then we shoot for 2 months. So
Still changing.
yeah, it's always changing because they're like, guys, we got all our songs, and then it's never the case. It's always like, oh, they actually fell through, or we got this epic one we really wanted. So like it's been like pretty great though, because in the first movie it took us like 3 weeks to go like forever to learn the choreo, and then the second movie, like with promises and like all that, we got it in like 3 days, like the whole dances. And this one, like a lot of backaches, but but it was good.
Every time they show us a dance, we like, nah, you don't want us to.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not good for your neck.
It's been like 2 years. You want us to just come back and be ready to just like start getting choreography that bad? We did good. He's always ready.
What do you guys think? You think they did a good job? You guys are amazing. Now, you do know that Chrissie is from Miami, right? So welcome. How was it like? What was your favorite part of playing Flo?
Ooh, I don't know. My favorite part of my favorite part is obviously like the friendships that I've made with these girls. Like this is gonna last me a lifetime. And being a part of such an incredibly talented cast. Like everyone brings something to the table. It's not very typical in Hollywood to see like a movie with 10 women in the center. So it's like really, really cool to see that and be a part of that, and then be the Latina in that group. Be the Latina in that group and represent for my community. I just feel like super blessed and honored. I was nervous as hell. All of them at the beginning.
We love you.
And now they're just like my friends for life. So
that's why I keep us at Bellas for Life, because at the end of the day, you know, I don't know if that's how movies work. You know, how everybody still hang out afterwards and all that stuff. But I just think it was some girls that came together and was like, I don't have no ego. You don't have no ego. You want to be friends? You want to be friends? And then you're like, okay, meet me at lunch. And I clicked with Rebel as soon as I got there, because we both were like business women talking about, well, I'm firing my manager. She's like, we're firing managers together. Man, because she used to be a lawyer, so I'm like, what do you think about this contract? So it's just like, you know, friends because girls get along when they have no egos. You know?
And I love to see that you guys share that with the audience and with the industry, that women should empower each other. I think it's beautiful to see that in your friendship. They actually do, they really are friends. They went on vacation to where Cabo to celebrate the movie was done.
I know, I definitely went. I was like, I'm not missing.
I went to Ibiza to work on some music, and I just cried the whole time. I was like, why am I here?
Esther, talking about your music.
No,
when you, yes, let's talk about your music. Everybody wants to know about your music.
Fun.
Look, when you transitioned from working just music to getting into this movie, what did you think was going to happen when you auditioned? And what's it like now? It's a whole new facet, like you said, for you.
I thought I was just going in there for like, first I just went in there to do voiceover because I wanted to get a Lorax. So I didn't think, and then she said, well, we have an audition for a live action. And I said, what is that, like an action movie? So I was like, I didn't know what live action meant. And then I did the audition, and they was like, you got it. But listen, let me tell you, because I'm the secret kid, and I like manifestation and stuff like that. So I had already put on my vision board that I wanted to be in a movie like Glee. So, and then all of a sudden, I still have these pages up that kind of remind me that it happened. So I had already said I wanted to be there, and I remember drawing myself and on the billboards of Sunset. And this is like when Pitch Perfect 1 came out, and they kind of had one little poster here and one up. I said, one day it'll be in the sky. Yes, and now it's all in the sky. So, you know, it's kind of like challenging the secret and challenging vision boards and challenging manifestation just to see if it's going to happen. And it just keep on happening. So I'm just like, well, what else can I do? So the list goes on.
And what are you working on now?
I'm working on Pitch Perfect 4. Manifesting Pitch Perfect 4.
There you go. We're all behind that.
And Steven Spielberg, please come find me, Lord.
And how in the world do you channel Lily so well? Is that a challenge for you, or is it just...
No, it's really fun because I talk a lot and I'm pretty loud. So like
your mic is the only one that works, so yes, you got that thing on lock.
Yeah, and playing Lily was great. Like she just says everything that's on her mind in like 5 words or less. So it was really fun playing her. It was really fun wearing all those crazy prints on top of prints and top of cats, and you know, she's just a little quirky, and like she was just really fun. I love channeling her with those big eyes and the weirdo words.
What was the most exciting scene to film throughout this particular movie? That yacht scene looked like a lot of fun. Did you guys actually jump off the yacht, or was those doubles?
We ain't got to tell all that business.
Oh, come on now.
Leave something to imagination. You know,
It's just us. It's just
all
us.
us.
It's just us and all the
I
cameras.
jump off nothing. I jump off and go in nothing. All the water, all the...
We jumped.
Yeah, you jumped.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But I'm just kidding.
I'm Cuban. I'm loud. We did. Oh my God, this feels like so.
There you go.
But I think from all of us, the one who did the most stunt training was like Rebel Wilson. I mean, she can literally probably do Mission Possible because she would do it.
We'll do the background.
Yeah. But that was probably the best day for me, just because we were like in this giant like tank that they created for us because they made it inside a soundstage, and we were like little kids again, just like playing in a pool, and it was like heated, so it was like delicious, and then we were like doing synchronized swimming and all this kind of like crazy fun. Yeah.
I didn't do it because I can't swim.
I wasn't even there when you guys were doing that synchronized thing. I think I was like, this is freezing, and I'm getting out of the... I was wearing my shoes in the water.
Apartment chilling, honey.
They're like, you don't have to wear shoes. I was like, this isn't a real pool. I don't know what is in here.
They filled the tank up, and I was like, they was like, missing you. I was like, I ain't missing you. I am in an apartment. Cozy.
Oh God, I pressed the button.
There it is.
It's okay. It happens.
It works now.
So I want to play a little game with you guys. You guys said you're like family. You know each other very well. I want you to tell me, out of the cast, the first name that comes to mind when I ask you the following questions. You ready?
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's see if you guys match. Just yell it out.
Okay.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Who is the loudest?
Esther Dean.
No thinking, just go for it. Who is the class clown?
Rebel.
Brittany.
Really?
She's at minimum bop.
Minimum class? Wow.
Oh,
Everyone's kind of
actually, it's not
serious
Rebel.
on
It's
set.
not Rebel.
Rebel's kind of mellow.
Yeah, she is really mellow.
Real
Oh,
life.
Alexis.
Chill.
Oh,
Oh,
Alexis.
Alexis class. Yeah.
class con.
Now this one's important. Who's
Wait,
the messiest?
when are you gonna, Alexis? When are you gonna tell us the correct ones later? After the whole thing?
I don't know. I didn't work with you.
I wasn't in the movie, so I have no idea who the messiest.
Guys,
Hello? That was a trick. That was a trick.
So you tell me,
Let's play a
who's
game.
the messiest? Alexis for sure, for everybody?
Hands
Oh,
down.
all right, that works. Who's the grumpiest?
It depends on whose period it is. I don't know what day of the month it is. Everybody gonna go there.
All right, we'll skip that one.
Movie with 10 girls.
Yeah.
What do you think?
We get on the same cycle. That's no lie.
Who is the most like their character?
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
I think I didn't play no
You
character.
think
I was like,
Brittany, though, too.
Yeah, Brittany's kind of, yeah, very similar.
How about who is the least like their character?
I don't know.
oh, yeah.
You're the least. I'm not
I
like
set
Phil.
fires to Phil Joe. I don't know about you guys, but it's a big girl for me.
So usually when movies are getting done, they're often not done in sequence. But in this particular case, the last scene, the goodbye song that you guys all do together was one of the last things that you did. And while we were watching it, I saw people were getting very emotional. I was emotional watching it. What was it like shooting that particular scene for you guys?
Chrissy, you answered this one.
Oh
You were
my
so
gosh,
emotional.
I was so emotional, like to the point where the director came up to me on stage and she was like, "Chrissy, are you okay? It looks like your dog died." I'm like, "Whoa, that's too much. Bring it in," you know. But it was just like really, really kind of special.
It was special. Like, Anna brought me out. Okay, so first of all, like, I am never prepared. So when we did the last scene, it's like, yeah, Esther, because Anna's going to come out and sing with you. Well, we didn't rehearse any of that. We didn't do any dance steps to the last song, right? So that was freestyling. So she would come up to me and grab me out, and we'll start singing. And in her eyes, I was like, you better stop tearing up here because I'm an emotional girl, and I'm really singing to you, little girl. And I'm like, and I'm singing to her, and I'm like, what is going on? And he's like, Esther, let it out. I said, this is not a therapy session. Let it out on this TV here. And they was like, oh,
It was like, it was really real emotion. Like she did also, Anna just was like,
oh, she was
just the center of that. And you know, she's gone through a long journey with this, and you know, we've been by her side, you know, the whole time. And when she came and she hugged me, I just like melted, you know, because like you feel each one of our energies, and that's why I think it was.
And
really
it took 10
emotional
times
with
to
her.
do it, and we still cried every time they did it, because it was like, wow, this is.
That's called good acting.
Yeah. No, it was real. It was real. It was like crazy because it's like this. It was the last day that we shot. So once we finished that, we all got on the van and went on home, and then it was like no more shooting. So it was like that was the end of the movie. Is the end of the day that we stopped working. And then Rebel and Anna had to do a couple of things after, but it had nothing to do with singing. So that was the last part. Shut up. Whatever.
And it's
We're
always
gonna
nice
cry
at Anna camp there. Like, she always brings something about her being there. Because, like, in the second movie, she was in the campfire scene and shot for a couple of weeks with us, but wasn't there with us. I feel like she just brings that kind of center of, you know, that competition and that hard work. And she really gives it, too. So it's just...
I love Anna Camp. She
Yeah,
makes
she's
me
funny.
laugh a lot. She makes me laugh.
The
a lot
vodka
because she's
can,
trying
but the
to.
vodka can.
Yeah.
You know, this movie was fun when I don't have to ask them anything and they're just going on and on and on and on talking about it.
We love each other.
It's fun.
What's next for each of you? What do you guys have going on right now? If you can share.
I'm working on an exotic thriller. I am.
I'm watching it.
Yeah.
Working on that, producing and writing it, and then I have a horror live puppet movie coming out with Jordan Peele next year. Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. Called Abruptio. that will help if I told you what it was.
Yes.
I think like a lot of us got inspired with these movies to also like create and produce and like do stuff. And you know, for me specifically, like I write as well, so I have a lot of things in development with like Latinos at the core, because that's like really important to me, to be able to like share our stories, and you know, more representation is always like the best situation for change. So that's kind of what I'm doing now, and like writing and developing, and so yeah.
What about you? What you got going on?
I always got my hand in some cookie jar. But I'm doing a deal with Afrojack and doing EDM and going around the world and singing. And I have a song called Another Life with David Guetta and Afrojack. And I like writing for songs for people, a lot of people. And then I'm going to do this TV show with NBC called Songland. And it's going to be about songwriters coming up. And it's like The Voice, but for songwriters. So then I get to show and direct people in that place. So, you know, and then more TV and movies and just whatever I put on that little board.
Esther, you should really get some goals in your life.
You know, Esther, you're
I just have no focus.
What about you guys? Does anybody have any questions for the girls? Don't be shy. Yes.
So with all the jokes and funny characters, do you guys find it hard to keep a straight face on set?
I laughed the whole time, girl.
Yeah, like we're kind of like, can you put like Rebel Wilson in a single so we're okay to laugh and like not have to like hold it together? But yeah, every
so
girl.
Unprofessional. I'm just over there laughing anyway. I'm like, this is good. This is good. That was a good joke.
Yeah.
Go girl, you did good.
Anybody else? Yes, all the way in the back.
What was your guys' favorite number to put together for the movies? Like out of all three of them?
What was your favorite number to put together?
I don't know. There's so many good ones. I really like this one, Cheap Thrills. Just because it's like you kind of got down and dirty a little bit with it, and the outfits are really cool, and the music was great. I'm gonna say cool 7 times. Cool. Yeah, and I got to sing in that one, so that was fun. A little bit.
You let me have that.
You always did it. I love you.
I was like, yes, whatever that means, girl. No, but I like Who Run the World.
Oh yeah.
That was fun. Yeah.
That clapping thing took us a really long time. It was like geometry, like.
There were like 3,000 extras that day when we filmed it. So like we all kind of felt like Beyonce, although she has probably like 30,000 people. It was a cool moment.
Back there. What you got?
What was your audition like, and what did you do to prepare for it?
What was your audition like, and what did you do to prepare?
Mine, well, no, like I don't know if you guys know this, but I auditioned for Alexis Knapp's role, Stacy.
No!
Yeah, that was what I went in for the role. Good luck finding it. I auditioned for that, and then I had a callback for Lily, and Jason, the director, was there, and Max Hanneman, Elizabeth Banks' husband and a producer of the movie, was there, and they're like, hey, so here's a script, you have 5 minutes, and just let us know when you're ready. And then I hear a girl in there like singing, and I was like, oh my god, no, you have to sing? Like I didn't have anything prepared, so I was like, oh, whatever. So I'm just like reading these, I'm like, the lines were, all my Lily lines are like written this tiny, like everybody else is just like normal font, and mine's like this small. So, and then like Richard, right? No, Rich Delia comes, he's like, just talk really quiet when you do it. So like I go in, I talk quiet, and then Jason's like, great, we're ready for your monologue. And I was like, what, my what? So I had to do a monologue.
Improvise it, right?
Improvise it, and like Rich was just sitting there. I was like, okay, we're in college and we're breaking up, and here we go. And I did a monologue, and then Jason's like, okay, cool, so we're ready for your song. And I'm like, So I was trying to sing I didn't have a song prepared, so I was like, I'm gonna sing Korean folk music, because I'm like pretty fun at doing that. So I was doing that. He's like, that was amazing. I was like, thank you. And he's like, okay, we're ready for an American song. And I was like, oh god. So I sang Bryan Adams, Everything I Do for You, and it was like awful. My pitch, like the casting director was like this. Because like my pitch is off, because Korean folk singing is like really all in the back throat, and it's like I didn't prep, and like get my vocals all ready, and I was like, and I was trying to be funny after I was done, and I was just like, I wanted to do my drag queen voice. I'm like, hey, I just wanted you guys to like me. But instead I was like, I just want you guys to like me. And it was like so pathetic. And like they're like, oh, we like you. And I was like, get me out of here, I'm out. And then like I was like, God, I was so pathetic in that. And then I got the part.
I think they like pathetic people.
I agree. I sang the song Ice Cream, but I don't even remember what it is. Because it was like Cheryl, somebody's ice cream. I killed it. I killed it. I don't know what it was, girl, but I killed it.
I only said pathetic people because I like kind of messed up my audition too. Like I went in and I did the scenes and you know I felt confident about that. Elizabeth Banks was there from the beginning, and so that was nerve-wracking. And then I go to sing the song and I did Adele, Rolling in the Deep, and then my mom was like, Chrissy, you should sing a part in Spanish so they know you can speak Spanish. And I was like, oh, good idea. So I go to sing that part in Spanish and I'm like, blank. Totally blank on the words. And I'm like, oh, no. And then I think to like save it, I was like, oh, by the way, I'm going to sing a part of that in Spanish. I didn't tell you before I started, so I'm going to start again and do it now. And they were like, and Elizabeth Banks was like, you didn't need to tell us, but okay. And so I started again, and thankfully I remembered the words, and I did it. And I was just like, okay, cool. And then they also made me do a monologue.
Really?
They improvised a monologue. What? And I, you know,
What was your monologue about?
Oh, gosh, because it was in the campfire scene, and like I literally like, built a campfire and was saying like I'm the only one building it because none of them help. The Latinos are always the ones that are doing the hard work and nobody else is doing anything. And I talked about like my Mariah Carey CD that I got in Ecuador in my village. Like it was just like really kind of crazy.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
If they would have asked me to do a monologue, I would have said a monologue. I just came to stand in the back, people. Like I just ain't I'm in the back.
Guys, please give it up for our girl, and for Ester Dean, Hana Mae Lee, and my girl Chrissie Fit. There we go.
I just want to hear Hannah's voice, the one that she does in the movie, the silent one.
How much are you gonna pay me? What's your favorite line?
I ain't my brother.
I think we have a consensus.
Oh, that one.
Thank you so much, ladies. Please remember the movie is out Friday, December 22nd, and do document your experience tonight at
#PitchPerfect3. #PitchPerfect3.